Fawn was a good friend and the librarian of Normal County Library. She was a whiz at social media and had been instrumental in helping put Normal back on the map as one of the best tourist towns in Kentucky. Her family actually owned a lot of this land before their big bankruptcy, Bets told me. I knew nothing about that. What? I asked, and took another drink of hot coffee from the thermos. I guess you don't know all the history of Normal, since you didn't grow up here. Bets pulled the van up to the front of the old train station and parked. The massive concrete station was beautiful, framed by the dramatic backdrop of the mountains of the national park. I would say Cokie Ogden had a hit on her hands. From what I remember reading about when I first moved here, there was a set of beginning trails on the back of her property that were some of the hardest trails and climbs of the area. Those were the most appealing to tourists who came to Normal for the hiking. Right in the middle of the structure was a domed, circular open courtyard area with 6 massive concrete pillars holding up a dramatic patina metal roof with a rooster weather vane. The one-level covered structure jutted equally out on both sides of the dome, with 5 doors on each side, with those same big concrete pillars standing tall and ornate. Those must be the rooms. Bets pointed toward some doors with brass numbers on them. I'm glad I brought the brass cleaner because those really need to be shined up. She let out a long sigh. It's going to be a long day. Bets and I jumped out. I followed her lead and met her at the back of the van where she already had the double doors open. I dragged 2 buckets of cleaning supplies to the edge. Good morning. Cokie Ogden stood underneath the spotlight that hung from one of the pillars. Glad to see you're here to get an early start. I peeked around the back van door and waved to her. Cokie was an odd bird. She looked as though she'd stepped right off the Mary Tyler Moore set, with her colored blonde hair parted down the middle and flipped up around the edges. It was hard not to stare. I just wanted to know how it stayed perfectly in place. She wore a black headband that kept the shoulder-length hairdo off her face. She had petite, bird-like features and a tiny frame to match. Bermuda shorts swallowed her legs. Her long-sleeved mint green cardigan was buttoned to the top, and a matching silk scarf was knotted around her neck. The outside looks great, I noted of what I could see in the van headlights when we drove up. I grabbed the bucket with one hand and the vacuum with the other. Thanks. Cokie walked to the back of the van. Do you need help? I believe we have it, Bet said as she pulled her shoulder-length wavy hair into a low ponytail, using the black band she took from around her wrist. We turned around when an old pickup truck pulled in next to us. The inside light popped on when a man in a cowboy hat opened the door. He held it open with one booted foot and grabbed a rope hanging on his gun rack on the back window. Howdy. He looked at us from underneath his hat. J. Russell, this is Mae West and Bets Hager. They're here to make sure everything is all tidy before the big day. The tone in her voice caught my attention. It seemed like she was giving him more of a warning than a casual introduction. Is that right? He slid his eyes between me and Bets. I know Bets. He gave her the sympathetic smile I noticed a lot of people gave her. Down at the church functions and all. Yes, Bets said in a low voice. Nice to see you. We stood there waiting for Jay to say something more, but he simply walked away and around the motel. Don't mind him. He's not really happy with me. Cokie laughed. This was his family's property and had been for sale for years. Yeah, Bets shook her head. I remember seeing the broken-down realtor sign in the front acre. I'm talking 20 years or more. Cokie led the way through the courtyard of the motel, with us following her. Jay has his business in the stables. He teaches competition riding, you know, rodeo, barrel roping, and things of that nature. After I bought the place, I told him he was going to have to find another stable and riding ring, because I'm turning the stables into a wedding venue. Wedding venue? That'd be nice. Bet stopped in the middle of the courtyard and looked up, causing me to look up. The courtyard was open to the sky, exposing the variations of blue in anticipation of the sunrise that would wake up the tourist town around 7 a.m. The crescent